Hey everyone, hope you're well, and I know it's been a while, but I just wanted to come on here and talk for a little bit. I did watch UFC 249, I think it was, the main event between Volk and Makachev was obviously not what I was expecting. I expected at least a 3-round fight, but obviously Volk came in there at the last minute, so obviously that had a factor to play. I don't care how good of a fighter you are. If you only have about a 14-day training camp, you're obviously not going to be at your physical best, are you? And you're not going to be as durable as you would normally be. The co-main event between Chimaev and Usman, I thought Chimaev, when I watched it the first time, I thought Chimaev, when I watched it the first time, I didn't know how to judge the first round, but on the second time watching it, I think it was a clear 10-8 for Chimaev. And not only did he control him on the ground, he used a lot of he was trying to lock in a lot of submissions. I thought the second round, Usman won that round. I wouldn't say, as I was saying, I think Usman won the second round, and in the third round, I think Chimaev won that round. So that's how I scored it. The Walker and Goliath fight obviously ended in a really awkward spot, with according to Walker, because a couple days after the fight, Johnny Walker appeared on the MMA Hour, and he said he couldn't really communicate with the doctor very well, and they had a miscommunication, because obviously if English is not your first language, I can imagine it must be quite difficult to communicate, as it would be with any language if it's not your first language. So that was disappointing, and yeah, it was just a really good night of fights. I have not watched UFC this weekend. I don't even know whether there was a card. I think there was. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments. I also watched Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou, and obviously what everybody's talking about is Francis Ngannou knocking down Tyson Fury in the third round. Obviously Tyson Fury was not rocked, but even for Ngannou to knock him down, make the real statement, because obviously he had everybody saying Tyson will get him out there in 5 or maybe even 3. You had people like Simon Jordan being really critical of the fight, and to be fair, I understood to a degree where he was coming from, but I think Ngannou did a lot better than anybody would give him credit for. Now, I know what people are going to say. Tyson Fury was not at his best, and that's fair. Obviously, I don't think Tyson Fury will come in like that with Usyk if that fight does happen. But obviously, you can't take anything away from Ngannou Because he showed up and he performed to his best. And at the end of the day, when you're going into a combat sport or any sport and it's not your main discipline and you perform well, I believe you should be credited for that. And I was, it really I know for some people it really surprised them how close it was on the scorecard. I genuinely don't think it was that surprising, to be honest. Obviously Tyson Fury did enough to win the fight on the cards, and I do genuinely think he did do enough in the late rounds, because I would say as the fight went along, Ngannou's fundamentals sort of slipped a little bit, at least from what I can see. Obviously I'm not an expert, but that's just the vibe I got from watching it. So yeah, it was a really good spectacle, and obviously we know what these events are put on for, and we know the truth, and we know why the events are happening. But as a sporting event, I thought it was really well done. So fair play to both of them, because it would have been easy for it to be like another crossover fight where not a lot happens and the boxer just dominates the other competitor. But it was a pretty decent contest for what it was. As I say, we all know the real reason why these events take place. But that's a whole nother story. That's a whole nother topic for another time. So I'm still going to Costa in my wheelchair. So that's something, I guess. I'm actually planning to go today. So yeah. Tomorrow I'm gonna be talking with Gio. If you've been following me for a long time, I've had Gio on a couple of times, and we're probably gonna talk about UFC 294 again. And I forgot to mention earlier, obviously, in case you don't know, John Jones is out of his fight with Stipe Miocic. So the replacement fight's gonna be Tom Aspinall versus, is it Pavlovich? I can never say it, but you know, I'm just gonna say Pavlovich. I apologise if I completely forgot the name. It's disappointing, but what can you do? By the way, I can pretty much guarantee I've said that name wrong. I think it's Pavlovich, but I probably, as I say, I probably got it wrong. So let me know how you pronounce it properly in the comments. I feel like every time I pronounce somebody's name wrong, I feel like a right idiot, and I like to kid, to be honest. But what can I do? I try my best, and that's all I can do. But obviously, let me know. So in terms of the channel, I am going to try and upload with more frequency, but I'm just gonna do whatever I want, and then if people wanna watch it, then they can do, and if they don't, then oh well, not the end of the world. Going back to Ngannou quickly. I was thinking like this. I think if he could improve his defense and he could improve his jab and let me say this: if he works with an out and out boxing coach, and they really improved his defense and his jab, I think he could have a decent heavyweight career in boxing. Obviously, heavyweights go on for a lot longer because they go as the last thing to go. And obviously, let me be clear: I'm not saying his current trainer's bad, but I'm just saying if he brought somebody else in to like mentor him in like maybe that's a bit hard. Maybe it's just a case of you just need to keep on improving. But I just think if you could find a way to improve his defense and maybe improve his jab to a certain extent, he could have a decent heavyweight career. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on the coach side, but I don't know. Maybe I'm talking shit. Let me know what you think. Do you think Ngannou will have an actual career in boxing, or do you think he'll go back to the PFL, or maybe even trying to work at, maybe even after this, the UFC? No, I'm gonna say maybe the UFC will pay him the money that he wants, but knowing how the UFC work, I can see them being stubborn and saying no, we're not gonna pay you what you want. So I don't think he'll go back there. And to be honest, no, when you see the sort of person Francis Ngannou portrays himself to be, he seems like a very more orientated person, and he seems to have really strong convictions, and I don't think he'll go back on his. I don't think he will instantly turn around and go back to the UFC just because he'd had a good performance here. As I say, I know you wanted a pay increase, but it was also about other stuff, wasn't it? Like fighter rights and things like that. If I'm not mistaken, obviously I could be very well be mistaken, but if I remember correctly, that was the main. No, I'm gonna shut up now because I don't know what I'm talking about. So yeah, so yeah, I'm just gonna jump on here whenever I want to talk about something. It's not always gonna be fight related, but obviously with the events over the last couple of weeks, obviously there's been a lot of fighting events that I've watched and that I wanted to talk about, so there you go. And so let me know what you think about Francis Ngannou's career future. Let me know what you think about Francis Ngannou's future. Does he stay in boxing And if he does stay in boxing, how do you think he could improve? Do you think he needs to get a traditional boxing coach, or do you think he'll be alright with a coach that he's already got? The problem is, when you get a new coach, it takes a while for you to build up that chemistry with the coach. So I don't know. Maybe we'll be better off sticking with his current coach. I don't know. I'm just talking. I don't know anything. So I was thinking the other day. Would 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 any of you be interested if I tried to do a video of me being hoisted into my chair, so you can see how I get hoisted? Is that something any of you would be interested in? I'm not saying I would do it immediately or anything like that. But if there's an audience that will find that interesting, I might do it. But I don't want to do it, and then nobody really cares. If you well, not nobody really cares, but you know what I mean. Like, I don't want to do something, and then it's like, oh, that was a bit pointless, wasn't it? But then again, it is my channel, and I'm just gonna upload whatever I want, and then if people want to mess with it, they can do, and if they don't, then they don't. So I will speak to you later. Thank you for the support, and as I said, I will try and post more frequently. I'm not saying every day or every other day, but I will try and post more frequently than I have been doing over the last couple of months or the last couple of weeks. So thank you for the support, and I will speak to you soon. Have a good day. Bye bye.